How long does it take from when you make a sale or invoice a client to actually collect that cash into your bank account? In this video, I'm going to talk you through the art of getting paid quicker and some strategies to try and help get that cash into your bank account as soon as possible. The first one might sound obvious, but it really works. Be nice. When chasing money, when dealing with the accounts team in another business, being rude or pushy or being angry doesn't help. And I've been in the other side of that equation as an accountant over the years, and having people who call you who are angry, usually your invoice gets put to the bottom of the pile. So understanding that there's a human on the other side of the line there, and that usually being nice doesn't hurt, it doesn't cost you anything either. Being nice to deal with, especially with tricky situations like money, really does help. The second one is to offer a range of options for when you're actually getting paid. So obviously bank transfer, you may offer credit card payment, there's Afterpay, there's all types of different ways that people can pay. Obviously some people may not have cash in their bank, so a credit card might be the only option. And then other people might prefer to use a certain payment gateway like PayPal or Stripe. So making sure you have a range of options for people to pay helps reduce that bottleneck and make it more likely for you to get your money. Another really classic one is offering a small discount for early payment. I wouldn't make this your main strategy, but it does work, especially on big chunkier invoices. If you can offer a small discount for prompt payment before a certain date, that helps your cash flow and incentivizes them to get you that cash earlier. Another thing that I see with some clients, and they have a recurring problem with high accounts receivable, is that they don't set expectations up front. So they set their payment terms with the new client at the beginning and then stick to them. There might be some gray area. There might be an imbalance between the size of the two companies, and they may feel like it's not in their right to actually define how they work, how they do business, and stick to it. And that causes problems further down the line. So that's a really important one, to set those expectations up front when there's still lots of goodwill in the engagement, to make sure that when someone goes outside that scope or that expectation, that you can draw them back to that conversation and say, hey, this is how we work, and gently reminding them, being nice, that that's what your expectations are. Improving your invoicing system, another obvious one, but if you're not using something like Xero, obviously get on there, make it slick. E-invoicing is coming up, which will make it even easier for people to kind of pay electronic invoices in a really direct, quick way. So just make it easy from that kind of perspective. A PDF invoice with no electronic link is obviously a nightmare. So think about the other person and make their life easy in order to get you the money. And then another part, which is the not so favorable aspect, which is when people aren't paying you, I would say, is to try and limit your damage. So one strategy I use when we're chasing people for large amounts of money, or a client hasn't paid for a few months in a row, is we try and get them to pay something. Just get them on a payment plan and get them in the habit of giving you a small amount of money, and try and take that big kind of cost, make it a little bit less scary, and just get them to pay you regularly. And generally you'll stay top of their mind. For sometimes those big invoices, people kind of hide away from it and don't want to think about it, and you essentially get no money for a long period of time. Getting them in the habit of giving you a little bit regularly can really help, obviously, liken the chances of you receiving that. And also set a limit. If a client hasn't paid you for a couple of invoices, or they're a dollar limit, so that a certain person owes you over $10,000, cut them off. Cut the services and make sure that you've collected the funds before you reactivate them, and that will obviously get their attention. But make sure you communicate this up front. Again, point number one, be nice, be understanding. Some people might have cash flow challenges in their business that are only temporary. But obviously for those people who are consistently late or consistently don't pay, those are the clients who you don't want to work with. And that shows a bigger red flag of you in the sales process, making sure you vet the right people for your business. All right. Hopefully this lowers the number of bad debts you have, gets cash into your bank account a little bit quicker. And I hope that you got some value from it. See you on the next one.